So fundamentally, we have this issue. I want to move money through time. I have a 100-year time frame. I'm an institution. The whole point is an institution is supposed to go on, right? And so how do you do it? No currency will work. Can you use gold? Well, gold as money is the best idea humanity had for like 5,000 years, but it's not a perfected idea. The problem with gold is gold miners produce 2% more gold a year. Okay, that's no better than the state of Florida seizing 2% of your property a year in a property tax. The half-life of gold, therefore, becomes about 30 years. You divide 2% into 70. In 35 years, your money's cut in half. Hold it for 100 years, it's cut in half 3 times. The second problem is it'll be stolen by a criminal or a politician that disagrees with you. And the third problem with it is that gold is a property you have to put in a vault. And if you have to put in a vault, then the counterparty, the bank, is able to hypothecate it and rehypothecate it, which means they basically sell 100 ounces of gold paper for every ounce of gold you hold, and they keep shorting it naked, and they hold the price down and manipulate the price. You can't hold your own gold. So ultimately, the problem with gold is holding money in gold over the course of 100 years is going to lose 85 to 90% of your wealth under the best of case. The other problem is you can't move money through space with gold. I need to move money through time and space. I need to hold it for 100 years, and I need to move it from here to Tokyo. If I want to move, $1 billion of gold is like 30,000 pounds or something. You want to move a bunch of money through space, it's going to cost you 3 to 6 months and $5 million to move it once. And I happen to have some experience with that because I actually had $1 million in Argentina during the last currency collapse. They converted it to pesos. They devalued it 10 to 1. A day later, I'd lost 90% of my money. So, simple idea, short the currency which is collapsing, go long property, and then get the property out of the country. Because the property in the country is also going to devalue, because the property is valued based upon the stream of cash flows, right? If the building has got a rentor and it's got a lease, and the lease is capped at CPI or denominated in local currency, when the currency collapses, the value of the rental income also collapses. So wouldn't it be great if I could buy a virtual building in Argentina using borrowed pesos? And then what if I could spirit the building out of the country and rent it to people in London or New York City? That's what Bitcoin is. Bitcoin is digital property that you can teleport anywhere in space instantly. And it's also perfected property with the lowest maintenance cost. You don't have the property tax you have on a building. You don't have to repaint the thing every 10 years. You don't have to worry about leaks in the roof. So if I could buy $1 billion worth of property and it was in cyberspace, Bitcoin is a nuclear hardened protocol. It's pretty much the most robust, resilient thing the human race has yet to invent. For example, it's running on tens of thousands of nodes. You can't even identify the nodes, and there's an identical copy of the Bitcoin ledger on every one of them. So if all of the electricity got shut off everywhere on Earth, and every computer failed everywhere on Earth for 10 years, the protocol just goes dormant for 10 years, and as soon as one person turns one node back on, the entire protocol comes back to life again. There's nothing like that, right? All your money in a bank, in Bank of America, could be wiped out with, a keystroke. You go and you wipe out a few servers. Your building can be wiped out with a bomb, right? Lots of things can be wiped out, but Bitcoin is the most resilient thing in cyberspace because it is so incredibly decentralized. If you took an entire country offline, that's irrelevant. In fact, we just saw last year during the China crackdown that China banned Bitcoin mining they took 40 to 50% of the entire network offline. Half of Bitcoin money was taking place in China. The network didn't miss a beat, not even for a minute. It just kept running, completely secure. You could literally wipe out 99% of all the nodes. You wouldn't notice in the network. There's nothing else that you rely upon. I can take down Google and Twitter and Facebook and Apple and Amazon and the US government, and there's a lot of other systems you can take down much more easily. You take down Bitcoin. So, okay, so when you have hundreds of millions, if not billions of people losing faith in the currency, losing faith in the banks, what do? You look for the digital solution. And the digital solution is I download a mobile app to my phone, and then I convert whatever asset or work or property I have into a cryptocurrency. And there's two things that I really want badly. One thing I want badly is crypto dollars, like Tether or Circle or the like. It's basically US dollars sitting on crypto rails.
Like a stable coin?
Stable coin. And the world's bought 180, 190 billion of that from like 5 billion over the past 24 months. It's exploding. It will go to 10 trillion if they could, right? The market has a trillion to $10 trillion demand for that stable coin. What'll happen when that happens? Every one of these local weak currencies collapses, right? There's not a single currency in Africa, in South America, in Asia you would rather hold than the dollar right now. The Chinese don't even want to hold the CNY. They would all convert to the US dollar. How do you know that? Because there are capital controls. Every country that implements a capital control, making it illegal to convert their currency or move their capital out of the country, is signaling to you that their currency is weak, and that includes the Chinese currency. So that's one dynamic. You got 130 currencies floating in the world. There's probably only 2 or 3 that'll be left when the dust settles. You got the euro, the CNY, the USD. Everything else either gets pegged to those or it collapses into those. And then the second thing the world wants is it wants crypto property. It wants money to give to your grandchildren. I want to hold my money for 100 years, if not 1,000 years. The dollar won't work. The dollar is losing 2% of its value a month, which is horrific, and horrific over 36 months. It's catastrophic over.
Who do you trust with Bitcoin?
Nobody. That's the point. Nobody. Bitcoin's a bank in cyberspace run by software, incorruptible software. And this is the beauty, right? Really great engineering, it takes a corruptible element and puts corruptible or imperfect elements together in a system such that they cancel out their imperfections to create perfection.